What's good, y'all? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Czech Pirc and the Black Lion and how you can use both in tandem. Now, this was a game that I played against a private student. If you guys are interested in private lessons, feel free to reach out. I have a link in the description below. But, okay, I mean, shout out to Jed. He started this thing off with the move of pawn to e4. I played d6. And now we have d4, knight f6. I played a Pirc and then a Czech Pirc, or Pirc Defense, Czech Defense. I mean, if you look it up on chess.com. But okay, we're in a Czech Pirc. And by doing this move of c6, we are neutralizing this knight from coming to our side of the board. We are preparing d5 and or b5, depending on how the game shakes out. And we're also giving our queen a good flexibility. Now, in my online course on the Czech Pirc, by the way, all my online courses, 30% off for the rest of the month. The discount code for that is March 2026. But yeah, I mean, in that course, we talk about a bunch of different moves here, including f4, in which case against f4, we want to play queen a5 to pin this knight, threaten knight takes e4, and support this e5 push. Now, in the course against bishop e3 and bishop g5, I recommend queen b6. Okay, queen b6, even against f3. I mean, that's like a 150 attack type game. Queen b6 is a very interesting option there. By doing this, we are putting pressure on b2. How is white going to respond to this? There's a variety of ways that they can go about it. One of them is by playing the move of a3, in which case we don't want to take that pawn because, well, our queen would be trapped. We could see white defend it. We could see white make the mistake of bishop takes f6, in which case we're clearly better with queen takes b2, threatening both minor pieces of knight a4. I'm not checking there, but playing queen to a3. And, okay, I mean, black's definitely better there. In this game, we see Jed go with the move of bishop to c1, looking to guard this pawn on b2, and I ended up playing the move of e5. Okay, striking in the center of the board. This e5 move pairs very well with the Czech Pirc. It's a good central pawn push, slowing down e4, putting pressure on d4 as well. And in general, guys, I mean, white does this all the time, but it's not the best idea because our bishop gets so much more scope to squares like c5, b4. I mean, even right away, knight f3, bishop c5, yeah, let's threaten f2. White guards it. At this point, multiple options, including bringing our queen back. That's fine, right? And notice, guys, when this move was played, yeah, sure, we played here and then we went back, but white brought their bishop all the way back to their starting spot. So even if right now we played queen c7, it's basically like before any of this happened, us just somehow moving our queen to c7 and then it being our opponent's move. So we get this move for free, right? Bishop g5, queen b6, they go all the way back. We're not going all the way back. We can go to c7 or again, strike with e5 and then go from there. But okay, in the game here, I played e5, knight f3. I now play knight bd7, bishop e7, and here I finally brought my queen back, bringing the queen back. And this is actually the formation that you can get out of the Czech Pirc that can lead into a black lion. You could also take some space up on the queen side here with the Czech Pirc, so a lot of flexibility. But bishop g5 was playing the game, so white again moving this bishop. We have h6 attacking it. And I mean, if bishop h4, this is interesting. This is a big preference thing. I mean, if you want to take space on the queen side, great move. Pawn to b5. The engine loves that. b5, b4 is all of a sudden on the table because e4 is only protected by the knight on c3. And, okay, I mean, if white wants to slow that down with a3, maybe we castle there. We could also go with g5, expanding, and then end up going for that bishop on g3. That's solid. That's good. And by the way, knight takes e5 there, guys. We're not going to take this knight because we would hang our knight on h5. We're going to do a little in-between move here. And if white does an in-between move, this is winning with check, and so is just capturing off the rook. When things fizzle out here, we're going to be up a lot of material. In the game, white ended up taking on e5, and here I actually missed an opportunity. I could have captured the bishop, interestingly enough. I mean, white's not going to take on d6. So white's got to take the knight, right? But if white does do that, we could take back with the bishop. Even material, but we have an h-file, guys. We have an h-file. g4 was on the table. Here, maybe knight c5. I mean, g4 is still something that we can go with. Maybe we're going to castle queenside here, and we have a good attack ahead of us. White, on the other hand, if we castle queenside, they're way behind in the race. So, all that said, I did take with the d-pawn. Not the engine move, but black here is still better. Bishop e3. Let's go pester that bishop. and now with the move of bishop to c1. Here I went with knight to f8. And this is kind of when you can start mixing in the Czech Pirc and the black lion. Some go straight into a black lion. Some go with the Czech Pirc, and then depending on how the game plays out, they can use that type of idea going forward. In the black lion, we are looking to play h6, g5, and get this knight, this queenside knight, all the way to f4. Right? And at this point, I'm looking at both g6 and e6. There's nothing even looking at e6 right now. h3 was played. Okay, knight f6, and as mentioned, g5. We now got our pawns and queen all looking at f4, and we have g4 as well as an option. I mean, rook c1, I ended up playing knight g6 there just to not halt the activity of my bishop. And now with bishop c4, guys, I played knight f4. Black's better there, but g4. Another great black lion idea. Guys, if there's a pawn on h3, yeah, they just gave us a target. Let's push g4. If the pawn's on h2, g4 doesn't do as much, but with that h3 pawn being so vulnerable, yeah, we push g4, and we're looking to break this game open. Bishop capturing back, rook to g8, taking that semi-open file. We're in a great spot there. But okay, knight f4 is also playable, and in the game, white took on f4. In the hippo, I often recommend taking away from the center so that the bishop improves. But right now, our bishop is not on g7, so okay, we're taking with the g-pawn. We have rook to g8, taking up that file. Because our pawns are doubled, we have access to a file that white doesn't. Double pawns are not always bad. Use doubled pawns to your advantage. You, as black, have access to an open file that white has access to as well. That's the only semi-open or open file that their queen or rooks can even fight for. You, on the other hand, you have this G file as well in this type of position. So, okay, I mean, in the game, knight f5 was played. I think probably better options include queen f3, maybe king h1. I mean, at some point, mixing that in is a good idea, just getting off of the file there. And, okay, I mean, as black, we got multiple options, including b5, looking to kick that bishop around. If the bishop goes to b3, how many defenders does this pawn have? One. So, all right, let's kick that defender, take it right off. If we get kicked around, fine. We go to g5. We can push with e4. Our pawns are dominating the third rank, and yeah, I mean, just crushing position for black. And if the bishop goes to d3, then okay, b4, there's not much of a point because we're not winning this pawn e4. So, all right, we develop. And if you're looking at piece activity here, piece coordination, it's not even close. Black is much better suited. Here in the game, though, knight f5 was played. This gives us the opportunity to take, and then here, e4. Okay, e4 expanding in the center. Again, when you can get pawns side by side, they are such great attacking pieces, and also just great, I mean, you know, a great presence to have, because it's going to be very hard for white to force one of these pawns to push, and until then, all of these squares on white's side of the board are wiped. I mean, white played queen d4, now f3, threatening. Rook takes g2. And, okay, I mean, it's pretty much over now, guys. If g4, we could sack the knight, take with our rook, rook h4, finish this game off fast. In the game, g3 was played, so here that allows rook takes g3 with check. I mean, if white takes, then, again, the game wraps up quickly. And if king h2, which was what was played in the game, then we can go 1 and 2, and that's a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed this video going up against the Czech Pirc. And again, guys, this queen b6 move, such a valuable move to throw in there. I learned this from Grandmaster Zbigniew, and yeah, I talk about this move at length in my course, really going after b2, putting pressure on d4 as well. And yeah, there's going to be some games like if you see queen d2, I mean, look, you could keep your queen here. You could also go snag your pawn and then play queen a3. Oftentimes the queen goes to a5, maybe c7. You are down, or let me say that again, you are up a pawn. Down development, but up a pawn. So if you can hang on here and you can play good defensive solid chess, you're going to be looking towards a winning endgame in a lot of cases. White, on the other hand, they got to make something happen. They're down a pawn. They got to put the pressure. But again, there's a bunch of different things that you could see, and white playing the bishop all the way back to c1, that does solve some problems. They don't have to play rook b1, which was probably not in their plans, because the moment rook b1 is played, they can't castle. Queen c1 gets, or queen b1, either one gets in the way of castling, not to mention d4 falls. And b3 is very weakening. Again, e5. That's a really good move to throw in there. If white takes, we capture back. And our dark squared bishop is primed to look at c5, b4. We're looking at a3 already, queen a5, d4. White's not feeling good. And if white brings the bishop all the way back to try to fix it, they're just too slow. I mean, let's say you defend the knight. Okay, we take it. Knight takes e4, threatening mate, threatening the bishop. So the Czech Pirc guys with queen b6 against bishop e3 and bishop g5, I would start with those. Try it out, see how it goes. And as we saw, you can play the Czech Pirc and then go into a black lion much of the time. Again, the 30% off discount code for all online courses, only good this month, is March 2026. I almost said March 2025. March 2026. We're in 2026 now. See y'all tomorrow. I wanted to finish this video out by giving a special thanks to Walter, Rob, Roger, Ray, and Jerry, and the rest of my Patreon community. Thank you guys for making this video possible. If you're interested in joining the Patreon family, hey, I'd love to see you over there. There's some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you over there. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.